Should the Jets really use their top draft pick on a wide receiver? If you clicked on this video, I am sure you know the Jets have some glaring needs on the roster, and at the top of the draft is their best shot to add a potential superstar at a thrift store price. But does adding a receiver really put this team over the top? The Jets are coming off a disappointing season where they had sky-high expectations with the addition of Aaron Rodgers. Unfortunately, that only lasted a few minutes into the first game. If you are being cautiously optimistic for this upcoming season, honestly, I won't blame you. I will say the Jets did make some solid additions this year to fix problems they had going into last season. The biggest moves were the addition of Tyron Smith and Morgan Moses to play left and right tackle respectively. The Jets also picked up Mike Williams from the Chargers to improve their receiving room and traded for Hassan Riddick from the Eagles to replace defensive end Bryce Huff. Even with those additions, there are still some holes the Jets should patch up. The Jets still need to find upgrades at left guard, tight end, and possibly safety. I would also expect them to bring in a receiver, but not with their first pick. You're probably saying, why would they not take a receiver at 10 then, but with like a thicker New Jersey accent that I couldn't really do? The obvious answer is that the top 3 receivers won't be on the board by the time the Jets are on the clock. There are too many teams in the top 9 that need a receiver, and the only way any of them fall to 10 is in a PFF draft simulator with all the settings turned down. Also, this is an extremely deep receiver class. The Jets could land a good receiver in any of the first 4 rounds, so it wouldn't be the best use of assets to take a second-tier receiver at 10. Another reason the Jets shouldn't take a receiver at 10 is that they already addressed the position in free agency with the addition of Mike Williams. You could also apply this to the Jets need to take a right or left tackle. Tyron Smith and Morgan Moses are already penciled in as starters for the Jets. They are both around 33 and can still play another 2 or 3 years at a high level. I know what you're probably thinking right now. Tyron Smith is always injured, and I get it, but this is not only a deep receiver class, it is also a deep tackle class. There are quality tackles the Jets could take on day 2 that would be able to step in right away if Tyron goes down or Morgan Moses struggles. So, if we don't think the Jets should take a receiver, and we don't think they should take a tackle, then who should they take? Well, the answer is obvious. The Jets should take Brock Bowers. Don't believe me? Let us show you.
Drafting a tight end is great because they can act as your left tackle and as your wide receiver 1, filling 2 holes for the price of 1 cheap player. Tight ends also make far less money than receivers. The top paid receiver is Tyreek Hill, who makes $30 million a year on average. The top tight end is Darren Waller, who comes in at $17 million a year on average. That is $13 million used on other players. Let's take a quick look at the 4 teams that made it to the conference championship. The Chiefs, Niners, Ravens, and Lions are all built in very different ways, but all have one position of strength in common. They all have superstar tight ends. The 49ers have Kittle, the Chiefs have Kelsey, the Lions have Sam Laporta, and the Ravens have Mark Andrews. In fact, 7 of the top 10 leaders in tight end receiving yards made the playoffs, and 2 of the 3 that didn't were in the playoff race until the last few weeks. But could an argument be made to take a receiver at 10 if one of the big 3 fall? Of course you could. It would be an exciting addition to an already good receiver room. Wilson and Odunze would be fun combination for years until you have to pay them both top 10 receiver money. However, it wouldn't move the needle on the Jets' Super Bowl aspirations. The best tight ends are matchup nightmares that really stress the defense, even if they are double covered.
Bringing in a wide receiver or a tackle would be doubling down on a hole the Jets have already filled. Taking Bowers would give Aaron Rodgers the best tight end he has ever played with and would really open this offense up. He would take attention away from Garrett Wilson and could also seal edges for Bryce Hall. His cheaper position would also free up more money for the Jets in the future. If you want another receiver, draft Bowers. If you want a tackle, draft Bowers. He really is a one-size-fits-all player.
But tell us who you would like the Jets to draft. Also, if you do want the Jets to draft Odunze, but you're not sure what his weakness is, I recommend you check out our draft profile on him. You can find that video right here. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, we are the RFL Show.